Page 37, Out of the Abyss. A soft feminine voice sounds out in your mind, sudden, faint and distant. Hello? Is someone there? Oh, please, I need your help. I have been trapped in the dark for so long, so very long. Please, won't you help to free me? Hello, my name is Thomas Hedging, I'm 23 years old, and I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons for roughly 11 years.
A cloaked man wearing a half mask walks up to you.
Evening, lad. Morning, lad. Morning. Sorry about that.
Hello
Been
there.
a long week.
Are you one of the three who recently acquired the inn? That old decrepit inn?
Unless you're talking about the different old decrepit inn, then certainly. What's it to you?
Well, as unregistered owners, our guildmaster Archibald requires a meeting with you.
Ah, business. I see. I'm assuming there's a license needed to run an inn.
Yes, of course.
Ah,
He
I
pulls out a letter.
understand.
Here's a formal letter of invitation to give to your other companions.
I take it. Thank you for that, lad. It's good to hear you sort us out. We never would have found you.
That is true. We seek new business owners out. Make sure they're registered in Crosshaven. We can't have scandals going about.
Of course. I'll go make sure that my companions know all about this so it can be arranged. Do you have a time for a meeting?
I believe if he asked for 3 p.m.
We'll be there. And a lovely day to you, my friend.
Mr. Hedging, what about Dungeons & Dragons really inspired you to write novels? Well, I'd say it's because of just how open Dungeons & Dragons is as a storytelling medium. You can tell pretty much any story in it, from science fiction, futuristic, to Dark Ages medieval fantasy. There's so much you can do with D&D. You can do anything you want, basically. Of course, 5th edition is more built for heroic epic fantasies, while Advanced is better for lesser power games. From the basic Dungeons & Dragons rulebook, there is a quote that you stand by when discussing Dungeons & Dragons. Here's the quote. While the material in this booklet is referred to as rules, that is not really correct. Anything in this booklet and other D&D booklets should be thought of as changeable. Anything, that is, that the dungeon master or referee thinks should be changed. This is not to say that everything in this booklet should be discarded. All of this material has been carefully thought out and play-tested. However, if after playing the rules as written for a while, you or your referee think that something should be changed, first think about how the changes will affect the game, and then go ahead. The purpose of these rules is to provide guidelines that enable you to play and have fun, so don't feel bound to them. Tell me, why do you stand by this quote so strongly? Well, I'd say it's primarily because Dungeons & Dragons is supposed to be a game where the rules are guidelines. And it seems as though much of the new generation doesn't know that. They don't seem to get that the idea of Dungeons & Dragons is that you can change and add things. They think that they need to run the rules as written with changing very little. Thank you for your time today, Mr. Hedging. We'll talk to you more tomorrow. Good morning, Mr. Hedging. Good morning to you as well. Do tell, what are the merits of playing Dungeons & Dragons? Ah, yes. Let me read to you 2 paragraphs. of one of my favorite fantasy novels ever. Written by the masterful author Andre Norton. There were good smells and stale ones fighting for dominance in a room lit only by baskets of fire wasps, one of which was close enough so that he could see every old stain on the table at which he sat. By his right hand stood a drinking horn mounted on a base of dull metal. His right hand, he stared at. He stared at both hands, the fists lightly clenched and lying on the scored board. This was of course the sign of Marvell's axe. A dubious inn on the edge of the thieves' quarter in the city of Greyhawk. He frowned, troubled. But there had been something else, something of importance, of which only a hint slithered so swiftly through his brain that he could not fasten on it quickly enough. That was quite the intriguing bit. I should check that book out. What's it called? Quagkeep. It was written by Andre Norton. What is one of the pieces of literature that inspired some of your Dungeons and Dragons stories? One that may inspire others to create adventures as well. Ah, ha 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 ha. Indeed, I do have one. It makes me laugh every time. It's one of my favorites. It actually inspired my most comedic adventure yet. And, actually, I'm sure it will inspire many others who hear it. Do great, just as comedic adventures as mine. Would you mind reading that poem to us? I'm quite curious what it's like. Not at all. I wish I had a dragon, with diamond-studded scales, with claws like silver sabers, and fangs like silver nails. A dragon fierce and faithful, always ready by my side. A dragon to defend me, or take me for a ride. I wish I had a dragon, with eyes of shining gold, who breathed a plume of fire whenever it was told. A dragon so ferocious, it might frighten Frankenstein, but not a lazy dragon who sleeps all day, like mine. Ha 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 ha! Quite the hilarious poem. Thank you for sharing, Mr. Hedging. Ha 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 ha! Unfortunately, I do believe that's all the time we have for today, Mr. Hedging. It was a pleasure talking with you. It was a pleasure meeting you as well, Freddy. Ah, I think I've got some inspirations for another novel, and perhaps a new Dungeons & Dragons adventure.